And so Kyle basically said to me, "Hey, Nick, listening to the same song or the same playlist, right? The same music for the 300th time, it's not going to help you improve your life. It's not going to get you closer to where you want to be. If
Hmm.
you want to step into this company and be powerful and make a lot of money, you have to improve your skill sets. Music's not going to do that for you, but the right podcast might." So I started listening to podcasts. I mean, about all sorts of different subjects. And over time, right, I'm spending a lot of time in the car. Over time, I'm realizing that so many of the successful people being interviewed, they're giving at least some credit for their success to the books that they're reading. And I heard the same titles over and over and over again. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And I'm just realizing over time, like, if all of these successful people that I want to be like, at least at the time, financially successful people, we're all reading the same books and I'm not willing to read them, well, then I'm choosing to live under my own potential. And like, I don't know. There was something about it. I was like, I have to just go see what this is all about.
Because I really like that in the book, how you always refer to different books and how you show that the ideas that you're kind of using as your basis for transformation are kind of linked across them. What was it about the 4 hour work week that kind of resonated with you so much that you even got it like sort of key messages from that book tattooed across your your body, above your heart, above and your wrist, and that, what was it, that initial spark, do you think? What made that first book that kind of wow? Was it the way Tim wrote, or was it something deeper, do you think, that it, because you talked about getting over your social anxiety by selling door to door, and then you read about how to eliminate that further and further. But what was it about the 4 hour work week that just, that was it, the 19 point for you?
Well, it addressed some major things that I had always been uncomfortable with. So number one, growing up in the traditional US public education system, you're always taught that failure is a bad thing. And so
Mhm.
every time you deviate away from the expected answer, you're penalized for it. And so you're taught to fall in line. You're taught to be a good soldier. You're taught to stand at your place in the conveyor belt and do your little widgets or whatever and keep moving on. And so I always felt like a little bit of a rebellious nature to that idea. And it always created a level of discomfort. Like I would do anything I could to break those rules, but still pass. So, for instance, I took a calculus class when I was in high school, and they told me that homework only accounted for 10% of the grade. So I was like, well, I can still pass this class pretty easily. Even if I don't do super well on my exams, I can still pass with a 0% homework average. So I never did my homework. So it's always like this rebellious nature of like, I don't want to be told what to do. And
Yeah.
then finally, I read this book, The 4 Hour Work Week, where Tim Ferriss gives voice to this. And he says, hey, society has a box, it has a set of expectations. And when you deviate outside of the box, everybody out there will judge you and they'll kind of force you back in. But you don't have to live that way. And it was the first time anybody in my life had ever said, hey, I think I know why you were uncomfortable. Like you're a little bit rebellious. You don't think the same way that everybody else does. And that's okay. You can design a life that's fulfilling to you. And here's how I did it.